10-year-old girls at Sephora. Let's go.
These 10-year-old girls at Sephora are crazy, but what's crazier are the parents that aren't parenting. So the other day when I was working, we were kind of busy, so the line was kind of long, and this little girl walks up to me, and her basket is literally overflowing. Like, the amount of products that were in there, she had to have been maybe 9, 10, maybe 11 years old, but regardless, definitely way too young to be shopping at Sephora. And I start grabbing the items out so I could scan them, and before I can start, she goes, wait, I have 2 perfumes on hold. Can you get those too? And I'm like, yeah, of course. What's your name? So I go grab her perfumes, and then she goes, can you scan those first so I can see how much they are? So I proceed to scan the 2 perfumes.
Perfumes at Sephora, I swear, even the little tester, like the little, like, I have like a little tube, right? It's like nothing. It's like this big and it's like a tiny little tube. That thing costs like $50. And I can only imagine if this little girl is bringing up like a whole tube, like an actual big thing of it, that thing is going to cost like $150 more.
The 2 perfumes alone came out to $300.
Oh, that's what I said. That's what so the perfumes at that Sephora, just in perfumes in general, are crazy expensive. I remember I got one just from a department store like a couple years ago. It was a popular one. I forgot the name of it. It was like in a grenade shaped thing, I think. And that thing was like $150 for the full thing.
$300. $300. So after she saw the price of the 2 perfumes, I guess that wasn't enough. So she was like, okay, yeah, you can scan the rest of the items in the basket. She's by.
You're surprised the kids haven't found Tatcha or what is that one? SK2? SK2 at Sephora. Yeah, that stuff is even more. Well, I think they have found Tatcha. I haven't heard about the second one.
Herself. So I'm kind of just like, who's with her? Like, did she come with a sister, a friend, her mom? Like, who is this little girl with? So I finished scanning all her products, and her total came out to almost $900.
Holy fucking
After
shit.
I told her total,
the most I've ever spent at Sephora was probably like $150. But that's only when I need to like, actually no, scratch that. I don't fucking shop at Sephora. If I need to get like something very specific, like The Ordinary or something like that, like that's like cheap, that's like easy. But I'm shopping drugstore. Like, I think shopping at drugstore is super underrated.
looks at me and she looks at me and she kind of gives me like a nervous kind of look. She's like, in my head, I'm like, girl, yeah, what did you think the total was going to come out to? So I see her look to her left. To the left, I see that there's an older lady who is her mom and a younger girl, which is her sister. And they're checking out at the register like 2 down from me. And the little girl calls the sister over and the sister's like, what? Like, how much is it? And she's like, well, how much was yours? And the sister goes, 500.
That's nothing, right? All right. If one of my stepkids came up, if we were in the store and if one of my stepkids were like, yo, we want this fucking toy, but it adds up to like $1,000. Like, can you get it? Fuck no. It's like a video game price and like max. Holy shit. Like, I couldn't imagine spending like $500, let alone $1,000 on just something so like you can get an alternative so and like at the drugstore.
She said that's so normal. Like, she literally looked at her and said, yeah, $500. So the one that I'm helping out goes, well, mine is almost $900. So then her sister is like, well, do you have enough? And she was like, no, but I'm probably just going to use mom's money. So I'm kind of just watching this all go down. And in my head, I'm like, so what are we doing here? Like, are you going to get it or not? Like, our line is long. It was literally right after the holidays. You know, the line wasn't going to get any shorter. So then I tell the girl, are you going to be paying cash or card? And she goes, sorry, can you give me 1 second? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So she calls her mom over and the mom like looks at me and she smiles and then she looks down and goes, wait, how much is it? And the little girl tells her. The mom literally freaked out. She was like, what? No way you're about to spend $900, which in my...
All right, that's like, this is straight up bad parenting. Like, well, one, you have to be aware, right? What they want from Sephora, right? You you have to set some ground rules, right? You got to be like, yo, we're just gonna get one thing or something like that, and that's it. Yeah, this comes down to parenting, I think.
In my head, I'm like, period, like, thank you for putting her in place. Anyways, the mom is furious, and the little girl is just looking at her like, what? Like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna spend $900. Like, I don't know what you're looking at. So I'm kind of just looking at them like, what do I do? And then the mom goes, take something out.
Just one thing?
The little girl lost her mind. She's like, no, I'm not taking anything out. And the mom was like, no, you're gonna take something out because what even is in there? So she's like, what even is that? And the little girl's like, it's a flower bomb. I don't even know what a flower bomb is, but apparently it was a perfume. And
that's the one I got. That's literally the perfume I've had. It comes in like a little grenade little thing. My cat knocked it over one day and it smelled the entire house up. But yeah, that's the exact one I got.
The mom's like, you literally already have 2 other perfumes. Like, why do you need?
All right, to be fair, that does freaking smell good. It wasn't quite $400. It was like more like $150. But yeah, that's still really expensive for a perfume.
And the little girl's just like, because I want it.
You know what I miss is like walking into Hollister. I need to smell that Hollister perfume. I always love the smell of it. And I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not, but I'm gonna stand by it.
I said anything like that.
Yeah, there's no Hollisters here in the city. Did there used to be, or am I crazy?
They're in Ontario.
They're in Ontario.
That to my mom, it's a wrap. It's a wrap because we're not getting anything at Sephora anymore, and I'm going home to get my ass beat. So time goes on, they're arguing back and forth, and the little girl kind of is just, she's not having it. She's like, I'm not putting anything back. Like,
I've had bad experiences at the mall with the kiddos, and when shit like that happens, when the kid wants something and you can't really get it, you don't want to get it for them because like we didn't go there for that, right? And like a tantrum happens, there's no compromise. You just fucking walk out of the mall. And it sucks. It sucks for the kid, but at the same time, it's like if you're gonna be like a little shit about it and just make a big deal about like, I think it's a little deal about spending $1,000 on makeup and stuff. Yeah, you don't need that shit.
No. So finally the little girl's like, okay, fine, I'll take it out. And she takes it out, and then she goes, but that's the last thing I'm taking out. I'm not taking anything else out. Like, I'm sorry, who's the mom here? Because this is the problem. The problem isn't the kids, it's the parents. Because why aren't you guys sitting there saying, holding your ground? Like, these iPad kids, these little girls have never heard the word no, and they kind of just get what they want so they can shut up and the parents can move on with their day. Okay, so then once she removes the perfume, the total was still at like $700. And the mom's like, take something else out. And the little girl's like, no, I already told you I'm not taking.
This is all happening at the cash register. Could you imagine how awkward this is? You're just kind of standing there waiting in line, and then you just see this mom arguing with her daughter about like not spending $700 on this. You grew up poor. I'd be lucky if my mom bought me a can of Pepsi. Oh my god. Like, I didn't get into like, so I had bad acne when I was a teenager, right? But even then, I didn't actually do anything about my acne until it was like in high school. Actually, no, scratch that. Actually, no, it was in high school. And I just got basically like one of the side brands of Proactive, just for benzoyl peroxide, just for like spot treatment of acne and stuff like that. But that's it. Like, and then I didn't understand like actual skincare and like routine and stuff like that until I was actually like 19 or something like that. Like, it was way later. And a lot of these girls are just watching shit on TikTok, and they like see this influencer that has like this expensive shit, right? And they think, oh, I need that too. They don't. They really don't. And most of the time, these influencers are just like, they're adults, right? And so I don't know. It's really weird. I make TikToks, and like I've been like, that's how I've kind of grown a lot on social media. But like, I think TikTok has been a horrible thing for for kids specifically, or YouTube Shorts too, where like you can't really moderate that shit. The algorithms for those things, you just scroll, and if you just mildly like wait on like watch something too long, it'll just keep popping up. And that's how like Andrew Tate got super popular. Is just he'd make a bunch of controversial shit, and then all these kids all of a sudden think it's like really cool that this guy is like super popular on TikTok, and they start like kind of mimicking a lot of his opinions and stuff like that. And it's like the same exact thing for girls. It's like, all right, do you want a Andrew Tate son, or do you want a Sephora 10-year-old daughter? That's kind of the point. Like, I don't know. I remember JC's kids, right? We would like when I first got here, they would super be into and onto their tablets, but it was kind of like they wouldn't really have any, like they would go on YouTube Shorts and stuff. Not TikTok, but YouTube Shorts. And I like, just content aside, YouTube Shorts and TikToks are designed to sap your dopamine receptors. They're designed to like make you like keep going and keep going. And I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'll just be scrolling in bed at night, but at least my like brain's developed, right? Like, a lot of these kids' brains aren't developed. It kind of makes them enjoying other things harder. And that's been like a really frustrating thing to have to deal with. But luckily it's getting better lately. But yeah, a lot of other parents aren't really taking the steps to kind of push the kids away, because they think, oh, there's nothing wrong with them just flipping through videos, right? Not realizing there's things called the right-wing pipeline for a reason, where you might just be watching some mundane videos about something, and then all of a sudden you're like straight up on the alt-right pipeline and just being racist and bigoted and all that shit. It's really bad on YouTube Shorts. I'm not gonna lie, because whenever I post a YouTube short, I just know for a fact, like, one day I might go through my comments on stream or something like that, because I like filter, like, before your comment gets approved, like, I have to approve, like, physically approve every single comment that happens on YouTube Shorts. And then I could probably be sitting there for like an hour or two going through all my comments, and 90% of them are some transphobic bullshit. And when I click on their profiles, half the time it's literally a child. They're not teaching themselves this shit. You know, it's like they're getting it from somewhere, and I think even their parents aren't teaching them this kind of bigotry either. It's crazy.
Anything else out. And then, you know, me trying to like be nice and also get this line moving, I'm just like, hey, like, I see that you have 3 Glossier lip products, like, and they're all the same flavor, like, did you want all 3? And the mom looks at me kind of like saying like, thank you, and then looks at the little girl and she's like, yeah, I know that there's 3. I didn't know what to do. I said, you're right. There's 3. I'm sorry. Stupid fucking thing of me to say. Like, there's 3 and there's a reason there's 3, so I'm so sorry. You're right. So then I just shut the fuck up. Long story short, after minutes and minutes of arguing, the little girl ended up spending $500 at Sephora instead of almost $900, and the mom was okay with that. I've seen a lot of people talking about the ways we can avoid having these little girls come into Sephora, but there's literally no way that it's going to happen without the action of the parents. Moral of the story is, we can make all the story times in the world about how these little girls behave, but nothing is going to change until the parents change.
Sephora and Ulta, they need to put like a, like, it is the parenting, so it's even hard to make like a rule of being like, okay, you have to have a parent with you at all times, because these parents don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they'll just let their kids run all over them. And so it's, I don't know, they either have to make some age restrictions or something, because I've seen other videos about like them like coming in, and then these kids will start making like a smoothie of a bunch of tester shit and just making a huge mess for just what? It's like they're treating this like expensive ass skincare as like their toys. I don't know. It's I worry for the new generations.